Hi, my name is Rena, and I'm going to talk about Plato's Allegory of the Cave and what it reveals about human nature. So, I believe life is full of illusions. You have people telling you how to live your life, how they think you should live your life. A lot of influences happen, and it's just a reflection of reality. Now, Plato also believed this. He believed that the world he was living in wasn't reality, and it was just a reflection of it. In his story, he talks about three prisoners that are in a dark cave and they're facing the wall, chained up. They've been here forever. This is all they know of life. They can't see anything in front of them except for shadows that reflect behind them. Now, the people behind them are living their own life, and they're bringing in dogs, they're bringing in kids and families, and there's a fire that is the reflection. But these three prisoners have no idea. All they hear are the sounds of them and their distorted reality of what the images look like on the wall. Now, one prisoner is freed, so he goes out, adventures off, and gets blinded by the light. And I believe that this represents the light at the end of the tunnel, that there's always something good out there beyond what he always knew, which was inside the cave in the darkness. Now, he goes and sees all of the shadows, which were actual people for what they truly were, and the dogs are running around, and there's life outside of this cave. So he tries to go back to the cave and save his friends. Now, his friends do not believe him. They think that he's crazy, and they don't want to change. They don't want to leave the cave. The cave is all they ever knew, and they feel safe in there. And they will not listen to their friend telling them that there is so much more out there for them. I believe there's a lot of symbolism in this story. Now, when one prisoner escaped or was freed, I interpreted that as education. Now, education can bring you to sensitive topics about like religion or health or anything that is uncomfortable, but it is taught to you to open your mind and see outside what you have been taught at home. Socrates explains this as two realms, the physical realm and the intelligible realm. The physical realm is what we see with just our eyes, and the intelligible realm is what we can interpret in our mind. In the cave, in the physical realm, they interpreted the shadows just being 2D figures. But then when one prisoner was freed, he went out and saw intelligible realm, where they were 3D and they were lively and running around and there was color to them. So I believe that a narrow mind will not get you far. The intelligible realm is a deeper understanding of the truth. Now, the other prisoners don't want to leave the cave because the cave represents comfort, and they don't want to go out of their comfort zones. They don't want to face the fear of the unknown on the outside, and they're having a hard time trusting the prisoner that was freed. People would rather be in a position that feels comfortable than challenge their beliefs and their thoughts. I can relate this to modern technology where we scroll on our phones and we only get videos that fit our algorithm, which just means the more we like a topic, the more it'll show up. So now our phones are based off of only what we like and not what other people may think. So we are not expanding our knowledge by scrolling on our phones all day. Also, posting on social media with editing and fakeness and pranks and everything that is just for likes and views, I don't think that is reality. And we need to stop thinking that that is life. There's nature out there, there's livelihood, and the cave represents our phones. It is almost like we are trapped as the prisoners once were in their cave, technology is our cave. Now, this ties back to Socrates because he could not read or write, and everything we know about him is written by Plato. Socrates actually thought that writing would weaken human thinking and people would rely on written words instead of socializing. Socializing is very important because it helps you think for yourselves. Now, we might compare that to today where people only talk on the internet and they don't have social communications in person as much. Social media has improved our lives in many ways for studying tools, etc., growing your business, but I don't think it has helped communication. With misinformation spreading and biased news and fake content, it can be difficult to tell what is reality and what is not. I believe obstacles that blur our reality are misinformation, social pressure, and media influence. These all force ideas without critical thinking. Plato's Allegory reminds us that we do not have to live in the shadow of other people, that we are all individuals that have our own brains and opinions, and we do not have to conform to the society around us. We can explore and question and find our own beliefs like that prisoner once did when he was freed. Now, leaving the cave, his cave, took courage, and change is not easy, but is necessary for personal growth. For my visual aid, I would like to represent what the prisoners saw when they were in the cave. So, I am the prisoner. I am facing the wall. Now, the wall is dark. I turned off my lights because I'm in a dark room now, just like they were. Behind me is the fire and people walking. Now, this is all that they saw.